Hello everyone, this is Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, bringing you a race today from South Boston Speedway in South Boston, Virginia. Today we'll be riding along for 40 laps and watching some of the top Legends car drivers on the iRacing service compete for the victory at South Boston. This is the top split representing the best drivers on the server at the time this race was conducted. Let's wander through the starting grid. Starting in the 8th spot in car number 5, that's David McCoy. David racing out of California, sponsored by JR Motorsports. Starting 7th in car number 7, that will be Michael Wasserman racing with us out of Europe. Starting in the 6th spot in car number 4, that's AJ Russell out of California. In the 5th starting spot in car number 9, that's Joe Oenkonik. Joe coming to us from France. Starting in the 4th spot in car number 3, that is Florian Botea from Central Eastern Europe. In the 3rd starting spot in car number 6, sponsored by Los Pollos Hermanos, that's Lee Krause from Calgary, Canada. In the 2nd spot in car number 2, racing out of Florida, it's Mike Mediz. And on the pole in car 00, he will show up on your telemetry in the bottom left-hand side of the screen as car number 1. That is Aaron Johnson in a filigreed Legends car, Aaron racing out of Bailey, Colorado. Let's go ahead and join the action as the pace car leads them out of the corner and onto the front straightaway. Aaron Johnson leads them to the starting line, and he'll take the lead into turn number 1. Johnson leading the 2 car of Mike Mediz, followed by the 3 of Florian Botea, then the 6 of Lee Krause. Krause has dropped back a little bit. The 2 car spins. That'll take Mike Mediz out of the running for the lead here. It'll be Johnson up front, followed by the 2 of Florian Botea, then the 6 of Lee Krause. Behind Krause, the 9 of Joe Oenkonik. Krause spins. Lee Krause goes around, so Johnson continues to lead. Lots of action early as Aaron Johnson leads the race. We're on lap number 2 out of 40. It's Johnson and Botea, followed by Joe Oenkonik. Then the 4 of AJ Russell running in 4th spot, followed by Wasserman in 5th, Krause 6th, McCoy 7th, and Mike Mediz 8th. Johnson leads them out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. We are 3 laps into a 40-lap feature. Johnson beginning to stretch the lead over the 3 of Florian Botea. Johnson with about a 4-car length lead over Botea. Joe Oenkonik running 3rd. AJ Russell 4th. Wasserman 5th to round out the top 5. Laps run pretty quickly here, about a 14.3 second lap at South Boston Speedway. South Boston, a 3/8 mile asphalt oval located in southeastern Virginia, home to Warden Jeff Burton. Right now, though, it's Aaron Johnson with the lead, pulling the car out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Johnson closing on the 6 car of Lee Krause. Krause currently the last car on the lead lap. Looks like the 9 has spun. Oenkonik gets in the wall. Krause hammers the inside wall. Johnson 1st, Bates 2nd, Wasserman 3rd, McCoy 4th, Mediz 5th. This has turned into a little bit of a crash fest early. Aaron Johnson just trying to avoid the carnage and stay out front. Johnson, followed by Florian Botea, then Michael Wasserman, David McCoy, and Mike Mediz rounding out the top 5. AJ Russell 6th, Joe Oenkonik 7th. Lee Krause has retired from the race. Krause will finish in 8th. Johnson leading on lap 8 of 40. Down the back straightaway, followed by Florian Botea. No one else within a country mile of the 2 leaders, as Johnson and Botea have stretched away from the field, partly by staying out of trouble, partly by simply being faster than everyone else. Joe Oenkonik, and just now coming out of the pits, Johnson closing on the lapped car of AJ Russell. Russell, the last car on the lead lap. Johnson, a lap 9 of 40 now, closing in on the lapped car of Russell. Johnson stretching the lead out over Florian Botea. Johnson with about a 15-car length lead, half a straightaway out front of Botea. Then it's Michael Wasserman, Mike Mediz, and David McCoy. Johnson with a bit of internet lag. We know it's Johnson because everybody else disappears. Johnson runs out front. We are 10 laps in, a quarter of the way through. Aaron Johnson continuing to lead. Johnson closing on the lapped car of AJ Russell. Johnson rolls down the back straightaway into turn number 3, through 3 now into 4, out onto the front straightaway. Johnson closing quickly on the 4 of AJ Russell. Aaron Johnson up front. Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, racing headquartered in Miller, Missouri. They are an international team racing all over the iRacing service, mostly focusing on the Legends cars. Johnson showing that focus here, closing in on the lapped cars of Russell and McCoy. Russell and McCoy racing for position in front of Johnson. Johnson trying to show some patience. McCoy moves up.
Oh, yeah, and I'll give you the bottom there.
And Johnson moves
Appreciate
up by McCoy.
Sorry I was snippy last time. I was so crabby from the race before. It wasn't your fault.
Up front, Aaron Johnson with the lead, followed by Florin Botea in second. Johnson has just put A.J. Russell and David McCoy a lap down. That leaves 4 cars on the lead lap. Johnson, Botea, Mediz, and Wasserman, the top 4. Aaron Johnson running away with this race, stretching the lead out over Florin Botea. Let's go back and ride with Florin Botea. There's Florin. It's lap 15 of 40. Florin Botea in the blue on blue Legends car down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Botea running a little high line there, got a little loose, then turned down low. Comes off a 4 in pretty good shape past the start finish line. Florin Botea in second. Mike Mediz in the 2 car in third. Mediz running a fair amount behind Johnson and Botea as Johnson continues to stretch that lead. Behind Mediz would be the 7 car of Michael Wasserman. Wasserman about a straightaway behind Mediz. Those are your 4 cars on the lead lap. Behind Wasserman will be Aaron Johnson in that filigreed 00 Legends car. Johnson coming out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. He is closing on Michael Wasserman, looking to put Wasserman a lap down. We are on 18th lap of 40. Johnson stretching the lead over Florin Botea now to about 3.7 seconds. Johnson in that deep red, almost a burgundy filigreed Legends car with what looks almost like the old Frisco signs on the side. Red, gold, and sort of a maroon 00. Johnson with the lead, followed by Florin Botea. Botea now drops to 4 seconds back. Then it's Mike Mediz, Michael Wasserman, A.J. Russell rounding out the top 5. Russell 1 lap down. Johnson closing on the 7 of Michael Wasserman. This time by, Johnson will complete half the race. Aaron Johnson leading by well over a straightaway now, 4.5 seconds ahead of the second place car of Florin Botea. Johnson passes the start finish line. That marks the halfway point in the race. Aaron Johnson continues to lead, and he is closing quickly on the 7 of Michael Wasserman. Johnson out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. You can see him closing very quickly now on the 7 of Michael Wasserman. Johnson out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Rolls the car into turn number 3. Wasserman taking a slightly higher line. Johnson's car continuing to work well on the bottom. Johnson moves up as Wasserman gets loose. No contact, but Johnson narrowly missing a calamity with the lapped car of Michael Wasserman. There are now 3 cars on the lead lap. Aaron Johnson running first, Florin Botea running second, Mike Mediz in third. Wasserman, Russell, and McCoy are 1 lap down. Joe Oinkonik is 3 laps down. Lee Krause has retired. 17 laps to go. Johnson continues to lead over the 2 of Florin Botea. Johnson running hard, pushing that car for all it's worth. Don't think he's not driving hard as he comes up on the lapped car of Joe Oinkonik. Johnson looking to put Oinkonik another lap down. Oinkonik on the apron to give Johnson plenty of room. Johnson goes by on the high side. Oinkonik down low. Johnson really kind of having to worry about this lapped car a bit as you never know exactly where they're going to go. Oinkonik stays low. Johnson runs to the high side again. Oinkonik in the groove. Johnson on the outside. Looks like he's content to just run behind Joe Oinkonik right now, trying to be certain that he doesn't get into some trouble with a lapped car. Oinkonik 3 laps down, trying not to go 4 laps down. Johnson working on the outside now, looks back to the inside, down to the outside yet again. Johnson and Oinkonik having a little bit of a race here as Aaron Johnson is trying to work his way around that lap 9 car. Johnson on the high side, Oinkonik on the low side again. Lap traffic coming into play. Johnson looks like he may actually complete the pass this time by. Very hard to pass on the outside at South Boston, but Aaron Johnson gets it done, putting the 9 of Joe Oinkonik another lap down. It's Johnson, Botea, Mediz, Russell, and Wasserman running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Johnson, Botea, and Mediz, the only cars on the lead lap. There are 13 laps to go. Aaron Johnson leads ahead of the 3 of Florin Botea. Botea now well over a straightaway behind, 8.5 second lead. Johnson holds over Botea with Mike Mediz about 0.7 of a second behind Botea. Mediz appears to be closing on the 3 car of Florin Botea. Mike Mediz in the Bright Red Legends car, yes indeed, he is closing on that 3 of Florin Botea. Can Mike Mediz make a pass here and make his way into the second spot? barring an unfortunate incident, no one will catch Aaron Johnson. Mike Mediz looks to the inside of Florin Botea. He's got a wheel underneath as they go into turn number 3. It's Mediz on the inside, Botea on the outside. Mike Mediz going to take the second spot from Florin Botea. Up front, it is still Aaron Johnson maintaining a blistering pace. Johnson's car running like it's on rails as he goes down the front straightaway. There are 9 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson with the lead, followed by the 2 of Mediz, the 3 of Botea. Then Russell, Wasserman, and McCoy all 1 lap down. Onconic 4 laps down. Lee Kraus out of the race. 8 to go this time by. Johnson in that filigreed Legends car, the blood red and maroon 00 out front, now with a 10-second lead over Mike Mediz and almost an 11-second lead over Florin Botea. 8 laps to go. Johnson with the lead, 7 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson continues to lead over Mike Mediz and Florin Botea. Johnson putting on a clinic in this race, the top split of the Legends cars at South Boston Speedway. A number of the top drivers from Western and Central Europe in this race, including Marcel Lier, who did not make the starting bell, Joe Onconic from France, and Florin Botea from Central and Eastern Europe. A truly international field. Aaron Johnson leading the way out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. 5 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson with a huge lead over the 2 of Mediz and the 3 of Florin Botea. Johnson rolls the car through the center of the corner, comes out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. There will be 4 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson in that 00 machine continuing to run out front. Johnson holding a stable line and a big lead over the 2 of Mediz and the 3 of Florin Botea. Johnson 1, Mediz 2, Botea 3, Russell 4, McCoy 5. That also the ranking of these drivers in the race. Johnson came in as the top-rated driver in the split. Mediz rated 2nd, Botea 3rd, Russell 4th, McCoy 5th. So the drivers appear to be finishing as they are ranked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson with the lead over Mike Mediz and Florin Botea. Johnson way out in front, all by himself. No one anywhere close. There's not even anyone in the same zip code with Johnson at this point in time. This time by, Johnson will take the white flag. He's closing in on the 3rd place car of Florin Botea. Johnson won't lap Botea, but it's going to come awfully close to lapping the 3rd place car. Johnson behind Botea comes out of turn number 3 onto the front straightaway. Aaron Johnson's going to take the win just behind Florin Botea. It'll be Johnson first. Mike Mediz in the red and black Legends car coming home second. That's Mediz crossing the start-finish line. Florin Botea will take the 3rd spot, followed by A.J. Russell in 4th and David McCoy in 5th. Johnson wheels the 00 machine into the pits. That's going to do it for this feature race from South Boston Speedway. This is Aaron Johnson for the Johnson iRacing Network saying go fast, turn left, have fun.